This Sunday, the 21st Sunday in Ordinary Time, we will have for the communion chant, De fructu óperum tuórum, Dómine. From the fruits of your works, Lord, you have filled the earth is filled. It is a harvest text, and if you were to go and look at the communions in the order that they are given in the Catholic Church's calendar before Vatican II and after, you will see that the communions start to get jumbled up around this time of year. The other chants for the Mass, the introit, the gradual, etc., remain pretty steady. So why is it? Why did we change around the communion texts? In the old calendar, this communion would have been on the 9th Sunday after Pentecost. And that would have fallen between middle August and middle September. When we switched over and came up with this new category called Ordinary Time, generally speaking, the weeks after Pentecost, you just add 3 and you get the week of Ordinary Time. So the 9th Sunday, it's 6. The 9th Sunday after Pentecost would be the 15th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Now, what this means in the new system is that if we kept this chant where it would have fallen on the 15th Sunday in Ordinary Time, it would be end of June, beginning of July, and it's not really the time of the harvest, and so it would not be appropriate. And we see there's a kind of subtlety to the choice of texts. We're not only paying attention to what's going on liturgically, but we are bringing in nature herself as part of the worship of God. Now, another thing about this chant, there are a number of interesting things. It's very similar to one we sang a few weeks ago, Honora Domini. Both of them are about the fruits of the earth. In one case, the previous one, we take these fruits and we offer them to God. In this case, we see in the very things of nature God's gifts to us, in the way that God mysteriously reveals himself to us. We see this from looking at the old calendar again and seeing that this communion was paired with the Gospel of the Good Samaritan. And that might seem like a stretch at first until we remember that the Samaritan, when he found the man beaten and abandoned by the robbers, he used wine and oil to anoint his wounds. And this, in the early church, was seen almost unanimously by the church fathers as a symbol of Christ giving us the Eucharist to heal the wounds of sin. And so, when we get to the communion and we realize that these, the oil, the wine, these are gifts from God, but they have this mystical meaning. They are the fruits of the earth by which God communicates his grace to us. We're going to sing just the first part of this. I'd like to make one musical point about this communion. So we're just going to sing as far as satiábitur, terra. De fructu óperum tuórum, Dómine, satiábitur terra. Now, this might not sound like a really amazing bit of writing, unless we know chant really well. But what's interesting about it is that the only interval that is used throughout this entire section is the second. In other words, all of the motion is stepwise. There are no leaps of more than this second. We don't have any fourths or anything like that. Honora Dominum had a bunch of very large jumps, which we usually take that to indicate more joy and so on. And when we sing the entire antiphon, you will hear that when we sing laetíficet and when we sing exhílaret, those joyful verbs, we have leaps up to the highest note of the piece, the C, or do in the old notation. So this is, again, another small way in which the very simple materials of chant are used to communicate a lot of material. And so this starts off very placid, very confident. Again, perhaps we finished the harvest, and so we are relaxing now. And yet, when we look out at what God has given us, we're filled with great joy. And so we will sing the entire communion one more time before we stop for today. And once again, this is De fructu óperum tuórum Dómine.